Hi Samantha. Could you briefly introduce yourself and share how you came across this opportunity?
Yes, of course. I came across this opportunity on LinkedIn and I applied, and it was a very brief waiting moment for the hiring process, I would say, as I got told that I was accepted about maybe a week into the waiting period.
So, what was the hiring process like to getting selected? How was the process?
Yes, it was actually very unexpected, just because I didn't have any experience in that sort of job title. But I feel like in the interview, I explicitly said I was very open to learning. So they reached out to me and they told me, you have a job offer. I think at first, maybe I was very skeptical. I thought maybe this is a scam. Like, I don't know. Um, and it just sounded too good to be true for me at first until I did a little bit more research about the company that I had applied for, and everything was legit. So I started off by submitting all my documents online since this was a remote position. And once I finished with that, it was pretty quick. I'd say I got onboarded like 2 days after I finished my documents.
That's great. And like once onboarded, what were your day-to-day responsibilities and like what did a typical week look like?
So a typical week looked like us communicating a lot through Slack. There was a lot of members in the Slack, and it was a very good community. The TLs, the team leads, were very communicative. Our communication was really good. They would tell us what tasks we have for the day, what they would like us to complete, and whenever we did complete all of that, if there is any sort of other task that we could do, they would list it off in that Slack message. Um, so it was a very, I think, like if you needed help, you can reach out to help. If you don't need help, then you know what you're doing.
Yeah, that sounds good. And like how many hours did you work every day? Like what was there any minimum criteria or maximum criteria that you have to work minimum for this hour, this much hours?
Yeah, so with them, in the certain project that I was in, I believe you needed a minimum of 20 hours. And if you wanted more hours, you could easily ask for more hours. And the team lead would get back to you in about a day or so or a few hours. Um, but it was very consistent towards the beginning. But however, because it's a contract job, um, hours were kind of limited at some point during like the Thanksgiving period. Um, and so once we knew that we had a task, we started just working as much as we could because we didn't know when the next time that we had this much hours was going to be.
So overall experience was good, like including communication and timelines, right? What about the
Yes.
payments? How was the experience with the payments?
The payment was very easy. It was very straightforward. Once you onboarded, you also registered for the direct deposit, and you have a time log, and all that time is just shown on your pay stub, like your upcoming pay. And whenever that day comes, it would be like Friday at like 2 p.m. PST. I want to say they cut off all your hours for for that week, and so then you would get paid that on like Monday or Tuesday. It was very
Okay.
easy.
Okay. And what advice would you give someone planning to apply? And what should they focus on to improve their chances while applying?
Believe it or not, I think the AI interviewer that is asking a bunch of questions on your experiences, spending some time with that, I think helped me a lot. I grew to like the AI interviewer. He asked really good questions. So I think you can definitely um, strengthen your interviewing skills and know what skills stand out from you and what you can transfer those skills onto.
Sounds perfect. And it was a remote contractual role, right?
Yes.
Okay. So thank you so much for sharing, and this will genuinely help future applicants understand what to expect. So thanks, Amintha. Thanks for taking the time today, and it was great talking to you. Have a good day.
Of course, thank you, you as well.